Hello. How was everyone's weekend? My weekend was okay. I think I drank too much. Now I'm paying for it today. Allergies and headaches and stuff from drinking, and then it ended up raining today, and it's still raining, so my voice may be a little off today. My daughter, of course you guys know that my oldest daughter, this is her first year of college. So she called me from college over the weekend, and she told me that her roommate, she said she was laying in her bed listening to music off of her cell phone. She said she didn't have it up real loud, but she had it so she could hear it. So her roommate comes in the room, lays on her bed, and tells my daughter to turn it off because she's trying to study. So my daughter looks at her and tells her no. And then my daughter says, because we have study rooms all over this dormitory. If you wanted some peace and quiet, why don't you go to one of the study rooms? They're usually empty. So the girl was surprised that my daughter told her no, because from what my daughter says is that the girl has asked her to turn the music down like several times since they've been roommates since September. And my daughter says she asked politely in the past, and my daughter had said yes and turned it down because she don't want no conflict. So, this particular weekend, I guess the girl had some fire behind her, turned down the music. And my daughter, I taught her not to let people treat her any kind of way. And my daughter said this particular weekend, she told this girl no. And said when she said no, that the girl kind of flipped on her. Said the girl took and said, "What?" Like she was surprised. And my daughter said, "You heard me. I didn't stutter. I said no. If you want to, this is my room too, not just yours. If you want to study and I want to listen to music, I'm going to. Why don't you go to one of the other rooms?" Because they have quiet rooms all over campus and all over the dormitory. So the girl tells her no. My daughter tells the girl no. So her roommate gets upset, stands up, starts screaming and hollering. And my daughter told me the only thing that she did was act like the girl wasn't there while the girl was going off. So she said the girl starts saying, fuck, really? Fuck, really? And I said, "What did you do to my baby?" She said, "I just laid there, turned my back to her, and kept listening to my music while she was going off." And I said, "Well, where is she?" She said she left and slammed the door. And come to find out, the little girl had went and told the RA of the dorm. So my daughter gets a phone call from the RA. The RA says we're going to have a meeting in your room in about a half hour. So, okay. The girl went and told on my daughter as if my daughter did something wrong. I guess my daughter is supposed to obey her because she's superior in her head. And so my daughter told me that the RA said you guys have to get along, you have to compromise with each other, and blah 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 blah. And I was like, well, what was your RA's race? Because race always comes in when you're dealing with somebody of color. And she said the RA was Indian, not Native American, Indian. And I was like, okay. And I thought to myself, well, good, maybe she's partial, half, you know. I mean, and maybe she can be impartial to the situation, because I believe if it was a white RA, then my daughter would not have been treated fairly. So being as though it was an Indian, you know, maybe she was impartial, you know. And I was like, okay. So I said, well, your roommate was probably more pissed off after that, because she probably thought the RA was going to side with her and say that my daughter's supposed to do whatever she say. So I said, your roommate's probably more pissed off now. She said, well, Mom, guess what? And I was like, what? She says, you know, because they're getting ready to go on Christmas break at the end of this week. And then they have to clean their dormitories and take everything out. And she said that she's going to have to be that girl's roommate. Excuse me, I got a cough drop in. She said she's going to have to be their roommates for the entire year. I was like, what? You know? And I was like, can you put in for a roommate change? She said, yes, I can do it before Christmas vacation. I said, well, you need to do it, because it's obvious that this girl thinks she's superior to you. Her parents taught her to feel as though her parents has taught her, because you know racism is a learned behavior and taught. So I was like, obviously her parents have taught her that she's superior to people of color. So you need to get a roommate who knows better. Put in for their roommate change before I come pick you up this weekend for your vacation. She said, I will, Mom. I said, and don't let her stop you from being comfortable in your room, because your room is paid for. I pay for your shit just like her parents pay for her shit. So you have just as much right to do what you want to do in that room as she does. Don't change how you've been acting. Don't change your routine. You go in there. Do you want to listen to your music? Listen to it. Okay? Don't let her change your behavior. She needs to change hers. And she said, okay, Mom. So I want to tell y'all, give y'all a little history on this, you know, because they've been there since September. This roommate, from my understanding, her and my daughter are sharing a room, and they don't talk to each other. And it's not on my daughter's behalf. I would just, you know, she just says her roommate don't really say anything to her, so she said, I don't say nothing to her either. So I'm like, that's kind of strange to be in close quarters with someone like that and not have anything to say to each other. Not as much as a hello, how was your day? You know, she said, well, she don't talk to me. Now, across the hall is other two roommates. She said across the hall is other two kids in another room. She says the roommate talks to them, but she just don't talk to me. And I was like, well, that's strange, you know. And I said, but if it works for you, then, you know, it works for me. I mean, because you're there to learn any darn way, not make friends. You know, it'd be nice if you could, but if the girl has decided she don't want to talk to you, then that's great. And my daughter seemed to be fine with it, because she met a little boy on campus, and, you know, they hang out and stuff. So, I mean, it's all good. And like I said, the story of the point is, the reason why I'm bringing it up is because while we are teaching our kids to get along with people, to be respectful of one another, and you know, pretty much do the right thing, the other race of people are teaching their kids, you are better than people of color. They should bow down to you. You are better than they are. You know, we have the upper hand in this shit, and they need to bow down to you. That's what the other race are teaching their children. So I think we need to rethink what we're teaching our children before we send them out into the real world. Okay? And I believe I did like an awesome job with my daughter, being as though I'm woke. So I teach my children different shit than what the normal person of our color teach our children. I want y'all to stop teaching your children to get along with everybody. Don't, You know, don't speak your mind. Just chill out. Don't get in trouble. You know, be respectful of one another. I mean, that's all good stuff. But guys, we're setting them up to be abused when we teach them shit like that. You know, don't tell them that kind of stuff anymore. I don't teach my children that shit anymore. I teach my children that they are queens and they are to be respected by everybody. And if they don't respect you, you don't let them bully you. You make them respect you by demanding respect. You are no less than anybody else in this world. And you have rights. That's what I teach my children. Stand up for your rights. You don't have to beat nobody up, but you don't have to let anybody bully your ass either. Okay? That's what I teach my children. And I think we all need to start teaching our children that they deserve respect from every damn body. Because I'm telling you, these other races are teaching their children, they're passing the racism down. And they're teaching their children to treat us like crap. Okay? So you guys need to think about what we're teaching our children at home before we send them out into the real world. You better tell them the truth. Stop giving them fairy tales and lying to your brown children. Tell them the goddamn truth so you can prepare them for what's out here. Because I'm telling you, the other races damn sure are schooling their children on how to treat us. And it's not a good way. So please, please teach your children the right way, which is defend yourself, speak up, and you are to be respected. Teach your children better. Really. Prepare your children for this world, because this world ain't nothing fucking nice. Really. And the superior race, they are definitely preparing their children for your black ass children. Really. And I was upset when I got the call, you know, because I already knew that something wasn't right. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, y'all in this close quarters and y'all don't even talk to each other, but yet y'all share some of the same shit in the room. So I was like, how do you do that? You know? But I'm very proud of my daughter, and I'm glad that she was prepared for this, because I mentally prepared her for this, because she handled it perfectly, and she was very relaxed, but she was very firm in her beliefs. Okay? And I had the type of daughter, she's not like me. She's not a warrior, princess, or queen. She's not like me. She's mild-tempered, and it takes a lot for her to get upset. You know what I'm saying? So for her to handle herself so well, I'm very proud of her, and she did well. I told her I'm proud of her, and she handled herself well. Because if it was me, it would have been handled differently. The little girl would have had a heart attack or something, because I would have blasted her. But like I said, I'm glad my daughter is better than I was at her age. But yeah, she said the little girl, when they had the meeting, this little girl took and started crying and putting on a performance and shit, as if she was trying to, you know, like she was a victim of something. She was taught well, wasn't she? That's what they all do when we fight back. They start crying and want to call the cops and all this kind of stuff when they can't have their way. They taught their little girl well. But the shit didn't work. It just didn't work for her. So she's probably, I'm assuming she's calling her parents and telling her parents some bullshit. But I don't give a fuck, because I will do time behind mine. I will. So, you know, it is what it is. Hey, I love you guys. Happy Monday. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Toodles.